Right then, here we are on the last row, row 32. We're going to be using pistachio. We're going to be finishing our mandala with our crochet hook, scissors and bodkin. Right, this is what we're going to have achieved by the end of this. I want to show you the whole thing, but I can't. It's just too big. So let me just show you this edge, and then in the next video we'll have a look at them in their entirety. I know that you can see yours. Couple of twiddly bits to do this time. First is these lovely little points, these picots, which just make this nice little decorative finish at the points there. And secondly, we're just going to finish off this with a series of stitches that we're going to do together. So we've got a front post double treble, front post treble, front post double treble. It tripped me up a bit, so I can tell you about that when we get on with it. Okay, let's go. Right, here we go then. Before we start, I just want to give you a brief overview of the actual repeat so that I can explain a little something to you. So briefly, you're going to have 8 double crochet coming down here, a twiddly bit down here, skip a stitch, 8 double crochet up here, plus some other stuff. But it's the skip a stitch part that I'm interested in, because I think we need to skip this very central stitch here to make everything look beautiful. Okay, so I could be wrong, but I think that after a bit of trial and error, that worked best for me. So what I've done to make sure that this is the stitch I'm going to miss all the way around is I've counted back from this stitch, and I've joined in my yarn where my hook ends, where my hook lands, if that makes sense. So if this is going to be my skip one, I need to count back 8 this way. So I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that is where I'm going to join in my yarn. It doesn't read like that on the pattern, and it could just be, I don't know, but that's how I'm doing it. That's how I achieved the one in the booklet, and that's what I'm doing here. And quite honestly, it really doesn't make too much difference at this stage, but that's where I'm joining in, okay, because I think that works best. So 1 double crochet to start us. We've got our first part of the repeat is 8 double crochet, so obviously that join counts as the first. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Whoops. Okay, so we're now at the twiddly bit, and I've got some explaining to do here because I read this and read this and read this, and I'll show you the part. It is here, it reads front post double treble, front post double treble, front post double treble together, and I couldn't work that out because I thought, well, why would that not just say front post double treble 3 together? And the reason is, viewers, because I have made an error. Yes, absolutely my fault, because I translated all of this from US to UK terms. That little blighter there, the middle one, should be a front post treble, not a double treble. If in fact you carry on reading the instructions, it does make sense, because it tells you to work the first front post double treble around blah 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 blah. Then it says work the front post treble around the popcorn stitch, and then it says work the second front post double treble. So you can see from that there should only be 2 front post double trebles and 1 front post treble. So I apologise unreservedly. It's absolutely my fault, and I hold my hand up, but when I show you now how it's going to work, you'll see that it will make total sense, and don't worry too much about it. So just to summarise, we're going to do a front post double treble this side of the bobble, and a front post double treble that side of the bobble, and a front post treble around the bobble, and we're going to do that all together. So let me show you how that looks. So to start with, we're doing a double treble, and that just means 2 times around the hook. Don't forget we're using UK terms. So 2 times around the hook, and we're going to go right behind that post that sits to the right of that bobble. Or popcorn, sorry, not a bobble, is it? I think they're the same. I don't know if they're the same. Let's just say it's a popcorn. It is a popcorn. Right, but because we're going to be doing 2 more stitches together with it, don't forget we're going to leave that last stage undone, so we've got 2 loops on the hook. Right, so the middle one is the smallest stitch of the three. That's the treble. So just one time round the hook. Go behind that bubble. I've said it again, haven't I? Behind the popcorn. Pull through, pick up and go through 2 and leave it, because again we've got one more stitch to do before we put them all together. So we've now got 3 loops on the hook. The last part of this is another big stitch, so it is 2 times around the hook, because we're going to do a front post double treble, and we're going to go behind the post of the treble that sits to the left of the popcorn. Pick up and go through 2, pick up and go through 2 and stop. So we're now at the last phase. We've got 4 loops on our hook, which means we've got 3 stitches that we're going to work together. So pick up the yarn for the last time and go through all 4 loops. Okay, and that's the effect you've got. You've basically working around that popcorn. So if you just remember, big, small, big. That's how I remembered it. Big being the double treble, small being the treble, big being the double treble. So we've finished that, I don't know, double, treble, treble, blah, 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 together stitch. And we're going to skip a stitch. So if you bring your work forward, you'll see the one I was talking about. That central one is the one we want to skip. And we want to come back up the other side of this slope doing 8 double crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Right, another twiddly bit alert. This is where we're gonna, normally up here we just do double crochet, chain 1 double crochet. Well, this time, because it's our last round, we're gonna do something a bit fancy schmancy pantsy. We're gonna do the first double crochet. That, all of that was a technical term, by the way, write it down. Double crochet, and now we're going to make the picot, and picot is really easy to make and it's beautiful effect, so do consider it for your blankets, viewers. Right, 4 chain, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, and all we're going to do, sorry, I need to fold, is we're going to work a slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we're going to just put our hook straight through the middle of that stitch as if you were working into a foundation chain. That's all it is. But rather than performing, there I go again, rather than making a big stitch, you're just going to do a slip stitch, and it can be a little bit fiddly, but go with it because your yarn will all work itself out. It'll go where it needs to go, so don't try and untangle or anything, just go for it and it will work out where it needs to be. We're going to finish this bit off by doing a double crochet, and then I'm just going to take my hook out and show you what you've made there. Look, ignore that because that's going to be laying flat, but you've made this lovely little pointy affair. Now just trust me when I tell you, when you block this and you put a pin right in the end here, it looks fantastic. So you will love a picot if you've not picoed before. Picot, picot, picot. Okay, we're back to come down the other side here. We're going to do one more repeat, and I just want to remind you again, my skipped stitch needs to fall here where I'm pointing, here. So, here, sorry. So I'm going to count back 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th stitch is that little blighter that always hides. So I think that is how it works best for me. If you want to, you know, just double check, see what you think. That's where I think that stitch should fall for me. 3, 4, we'll do one more repeat. Buzz is going to shout at me because it's going to be a long one, a long video, and it takes it's a nightmare trying to upload them to YouTube. Sorry. 7, perhaps he can speed me up at this point. 8. Okay, now here we go with the twiddly Emma's messed it up stitch. Double crochet, so that's our big stitch. Going behind the post to the right of the popcorn. Yarn over, pull through 2. Oh, I've got all caught up, yeah. Yarn over, pull through 2 and stop, leaving 2 loops on the hook. The small stitch is just the treble, so yarn over once, go behind, put your hook through and behind, can you see, the popcorn stitch, yarn over and pull through 2 and leave it. So we've now got 3 loops on the hook. Now we can do another big stitch, so it's yarn over the hook twice, go through or behind the bar of that treble which is sitting to the left of the popcorn stitch, pick up and pull through 2, pick up and pull through 2, and we've now got 4 loops on the hook, and we can pick up and go through all 4. And there you go. So it's outlined that popcorn beautifully. Lean forward, skip a stitch, so we're not going in here, and 8 up this side again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now working into that chain space from the round before, so right between these 2 double crochet, we're going to do 1 double crochet and picot. It sounds like a ballet move. I feel like we should be pliéing at the same time. If you want to do that, please do, feel free. I, for one, am wearing my tutu. So 4 chain, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we're going to do the slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it's that one's where I'm squeezing. Just put your hook straight through it as if you're crocheting into a foundation chain, and do a slip stitch, and don't panic about all the yarn getting in the way because it will sort itself out. 1 more double crochet, and that is another repeat done. So look at that. Finishes it beautifully, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to go round. I would say whiz round, but I've already done one of these and it's taken me over an hour. I'm sure it's over an hour. So I'm going to plod round more realistically, and I'll see you at the end for our last ever needle join. It's not the last ever, it's just the last for this project. Have fun, chaps. See you in a bit. Right, we're at the end almost. So I'm just doing 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a reversing lorry, can you hear it? 8. And 1 double crochet into the chain space, and we're going to do the picot. So just do that again quickly. 1, 2, 3 and 4 chains, and slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook, which is that one. 1 more double crochet, and just split it. Let's try that. 1 more double crochet, and that, my lovelies, was the very last stitch of our mandala. Hooray! Right, let's do the last needle join. So I've taken my hook out, snip the yarn, last needle join, look. Oh, thread it, just gonna pull that a bit back to front through that stitch, follow the line of the 2nd stitch, go under the 3rd, pull it sort of not too tight, go back in where you've come out, oops, and there it is. Oh, isn't it lovely? Let me just quickly fasten that off. See, I've started to do this late in the day, haven't I? It's a bit late in the day. Never mind. Snip. And, well, I can't show you it all just at the minute because it's just too big. But there it is. done. But now don't worry, because look, it's curling, isn't it? It's curling a bit. This might be the last this is how you make it video for this, but I'm going to show you how to block it. So it will sit really nice and flat, and obviously I'll do it from an angle where we can get the whole thing in, because it's done. It's beautiful. Thanks ever so much for staying with us. Thanks for staying with me. Thanks for all the lovely feedback on these videos. You are awesome. Let's go block our beautiful makes.